Hello and welcome back to our Benjamin Franklin Civilization VII series. As you can see, we did skip a little bit ahead. Skip a little bit ahead. That wasn't on purpose. Unfortunately, we had some video corruptions on a couple of our episodes, and it's been a tough couple of turns. We lost our city of Whack Cabnal and Q Town over here to Xerxes. Xerxes' empire is this full orange on the mini, or the gold on the mini map right here. We only have these two cities, Zaragoza, which is currently unhappy. We have Tikal, and then we have our settlers or our scout over here exploring these distant lands with anticipation on maybe settling over here, but it looks like this is going to be a tough city-state to befriend. So it's just not looking good this age. Last age, in the Antiquity Age, we did really, really well. We hit two legacy paths with scientific and economic. But this age just started out bad with that war with Xerxes. We are losing happiness and infantry power with this -4 war wariness with this war against Xerxes. Thankfully, we should be able to turn the tide around. We do have our commander, or our fleet commander here now. We have two knights and a crossbowman making its way over. We have the heavy archer that should be able to finish up this caching in the next round. But it's just going to be a difficult fight. If we can take back our original settlements, then I would pursue peace with Xerxes, just because we're not really in a position to fight this war right now, but I also don't want to negotiate peace when I'm only down to our 4 out of 8 settlements. And we settled these towns for a reason because of these resources, and we really want to get them back in our empire. So let's continue with this episode. Apologies for the corruptions in the previous episodes, but unfortunately the video corrupted. There's no way of saving it, and I'd already overwritten the save on Civilization. So it was a mistake on my end, but we're just gonna keep it moving here, and hopefully we can turn things around with this war. Let's respond to diplomatic action. Amina wants open markets. Sure, I'll take that because we need that gold for our army. We are making 189 gold, so it's not too bad. We should be able to afford some units if we do lose some. I'm not going to get any units right here for now. I could get a settler to settle these islands up here, but I don't believe there's any fresh water in these distant lands at all from when we originally went over here. So I don't think it's worth getting a settler. We could push a settler up to these distant lands, but the threat of this city-state is they're going to take down my scout next turn anyway, so there's really no point in even trying to settle over here right now. It would be nice to get a settlement on this continent just away from Xerxes so we can build our power back up, especially with our naval fleet. But we're gonna keep it pushing here. We're gonna throw this cog in our fleet commander. We'll move this cog up as well to eventually throw that in the fleet commander. Let's upgrade this heavy archer to a crossbowman, and we'll push that knight over to sweep up that Kirchig. It should be able to withstand a bombardment from Xerxes' cog right there. So we'll continue to command our units. Thankfully we can back this scout up, which is going to be the best option, just so we don't lose it. Let's continue our exploration with this cog over here. We did lose the other cog that was exploring to the open ocean, which was kind of annoying. Let's see what we lose, if anything, to Xerxes in this turn. Oh, we got a rough seas. Okay, let's push that in. Push that cog over there. Okay, so the plan for this episode is to use our knights and our turcos and then this crossbowman to really hit Xerxes' units from a distance and weaken his army before starting an attack. We are going to need to use this specialist to progress our science because we are so far behind on science in this age. So the best one, we get 3 and then 2 culture. I really want to hit this because production is low. How far are we lagging behind in terms of science? Oh, quite significantly. It looks like we're one of the lower civilizations on science output. This war has just really messed us up. So let's hit this +3. Well, we don't have enough diplomatic points for a research pact yet. Grab a turco there. And Sawmill is ageless, thankfully, so that does give us some good science output. And then we'll heal up the fleet commander. We'll throw this cog in the fleet commander as well. And heal both of those up. We are going to take some damage from the open ocean right here. And then we're going to heal up that scout. Thankfully, I believe they're not hostile anymore, maybe. Never mind, they're still hostile. So our crossbowman did take a good bit of damage there, so let's back that crossbowman up. I don't really want to sacrifice these cogs, but I am going to have to unpack that one. We should be getting our army commanders back here in a couple of turns. That will really help out our military assault to reclaim our towns. Okay, so we lost the cog, which I really didn't want to do, but it's neither here nor there. We can hit their cog with our crossbowmen. Now, Turco, I'm going to back up just because the cogs probably have naval domination in terms of that navigable river, so I do not want to lose that Turco. The crossbowmen I am going to push up a little bit further so I could start taking down the defenses with anticipation and recapturing our town here. So we may actually lose that cog next turn, but if he attacks, then we should be able to finish him off with our crossbowmen. Can we purchase a cog? Yes, we can. So we could purchase a cog that we just lost, and then let's try and bring back this happiness that we've been losing. We've got a lot of ageless. We got gristmill that's ageless and a sawmill that is ageless. But let's throw down a temple just to recapture some of that happiness, and we'll throw it. Never mind, we could have thrown it on this one that was overbuildable, but that's neither here nor there. We could have got another happiness point. But it is what it is at this point. We'll use our crossbowman to finish off that cog. This other one is a little out of range right now, so we're not gonna mess with that. We'll grab the cog in 2 turns. So this fleet commander has another cog. Let's deploy stacked units there and then use that cog to attack. No, let's use... I'm happy losing this cog just to take his down, and again, since we do have another cog in production in Madrid, and we do have the gold to purchase another one next turn. And then this Tercio, we can... Let's try and get the Tercio over the river onto this square, so we could hopefully use it to cut off any supporting units. Okay, Xerxes will accept the deal, so let's... Perfect, so it wasn't the greatest outcome in the world for that war, but we do end up with our original towns back. Xerxes thankfully accepted the deal for peace, so that does give us time to build up our armies and our navy. Of course, we want to keep our original cities. Keep. And keep. So we're going to be... I'll grab those ageless buildings first, and then we will bolster our army and our navy after we've got those ageless. Buildings, so box, what is this? +3, +6. So Baak does need some food. And then bonus, +1 production on warehouse buildings. And then +2 science, so we'll throw that on back as well. So it wasn't really the outcome that we was looking for. I mean, at least originally with that war, but we did grab our towns back, so it's not the worst outcome in the world. We do have some work to do in terms of upping the defenses of these towns going forward, because Xerxes, even though we've declared war, is still going to be hostile with us. So let's focus on bolstering our army and our navy, ensuring towns are properly defended, and then if a war does come, we should be ready for it. Or at least more prepared than we were before. I'll repair all of the damaged buildings here. Don't think that had any damage to it, and we don't have any damage over there, so overall not the worst scenario. I'm really surprised Xerxes accepted that peace deal, but it's great for us that he did. Well, we didn't have to go through the hassle of recapturing our original settlements.
From the new land of gold, a sun of gold, a whole fathom wide, and a moon of silver.
So here we can start work on getting those ageless units. Shoring up our defenses, we really need to ensure that towns, especially these towns on the border, are properly defended going forward. Actually, Xerxes can't get through there with his Kershig, so we'll move that around. We'll grab a dungeon. Also, I realized we weren't tracking science output here. So we need 4 specialists, research, education. This age has just been, compared to the last age where we were just so far ahead of where we needed to be, this age has just not been the best for progress. Okay, and we have a religion, so let's see what... Let's, usually I found my own religion, but let's just go with one that's already used. We haven't done that before. So, new beliefs. We can only get beliefs that haven't already been chosen by another civilization, so let's take a look what our options are. So, plus relic for first time conversion of another settlement with 10, plus 1 relic for first time conversion of one of your cities. 3. Let's go with that one, because converting our own cities should be easier. And then... Defeat the World's probably the best one. Usually I'd want the science. Oh, we finally got our army commander back, so we can move him down here. We will move the Turcos and the knights that are healed up there. Our crossbowman is going to be making his way over to Q-Town that we managed to get back. This crossbowman can stay in this town. I also really want to ensure that naval support is given in terms of ranged units on squares like this that could attack the Xerxes boats from a distance. So if we could get fortifications in these spots with some crossbowmen, that would really help us out, and maybe one here, so 1, 2, 3. We could also maybe put one here as well. This river really messed us up before, so I think we need to at least throw a cog protecting this riverway and maybe a crossbowman permanently fortified up here. We will travel over the open ocean with that fleet commander, with our conquistador. I'm gonna try and disperse this independent with my cog just so we can grab some of that gold, because that could come in really handy. I really don't know why I had that in open ocean. It was so dumb. And we'll continue the assault on that independent. Yeah, we'll place that urban district. That will allow us to grab another. So we did have a specialist lock there, but it does allow us to grab another specialist. Plus 2 science, 1.5 food, plus 2 culture. I cannot speak, so let's grab that. So we got 2 specialists total. We'll throw these units in as commander. So that army commander is full. Zaragoza's back to being happy, thankfully. I'm gonna grab a settler here so we can start looking at settling on these distant lands. Thinking maybe somewhere around here. Shouldn't hopefully be too close to any of the other, like to Amina over here. And then we'll grab a... Next turn I'm going to start working on the merchant as well, just to up our resources a little bit more. And we will grab a Tercio just to escort this settler. We'll move him up here as well. So we have 2 cogs in that fleet commander, and another one is coming or making its way over here now. See if Amina would like a research collaboration. And can we do one with Jose as well? And we can, so that does boost our science up a little bit. So in the lead in science we got Confucius, and then we have Ahsoka with 241. Haspusa at 189, and then me in 4th place. Isn't awful considering we had this war with Xerxes we had to focus on. Neither friend nor foe. On the surface, the adjustment is subtle. A friend is not made simply where opposition ends, but the people seem to breathe easier in the absence of threat, so take a hands-off approach or look for advantages within the shift. I think we need a little bit more influence, so that's what we're going to do. We are making a decent amount of gold per turn. Nowhere near what Jose, Xerxes, or Amina are making, but with those merchants, that should help push at least our resources up so our cities can grow faster. We'll use this coastal square to heal up our cog.
The king established all his knights,
Gave them lands, then charged them mercy. I really don't want that trade route to Xerxes. I'm hoping our trade ship should survive that trip over to Amina. And we grab another army commander back, thank goodness. Let's grab an inn there. Oh, the base is attacking our cog from a distance. It's really annoying. Okay, and Baak has a specialist, so let's see what we can get here. 3.5 is going to be our highest science output, I believe. We do lose 2 food and 2 happiness, but we do have a good bit of food because the specialists we got in the last stage allowed us to push our borders out in terms of growth. So we are making a good bit of food per turn. In our former capital of Baak, I'm going to build fortifications here. Then let's heal up this settler, and then we'll bring this tercio over. And we're going to leave this episode here. So it wasn't too bad of an outcome this episode. We did at least get our original settlements back. Even though we'd lost them and our footage that unfortunately got corrupted, but thankfully we were able to get them back this episode with the peace deal with Xerxes. That does give us an opportunity to focus on really growing out our army, growing out our navy for a defense and potential counterattack against Xerxes in future turns. That warp wariness is really messing with us in terms of our strength and what we could do against Xerxes with our limited army. So I'm thinking once we build up our army, we should be able to hopefully capture or raise some of Xerxes' towns and significantly weaken him. We could also use some of our influence to strike alliances with other powers that are on this continent, so Jose and Catherine could be good potential allies in the future for that fight against Xerxes. Because Xerxes is so powerful, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to take a war with him by myself. Look at Parsa with a lot of walls here. His capital's got medieval walls as well. And we're just vastly outnumbered in terms of land units and gold output. His gold is almost doubled our gold. His science output is very low, so we could get an advantage on him in terms of science and researching more advanced units and using that to our advantage. But that's all going to be for a future episode. I appreciate everybody watching this one, and I'll see everyone in the next one.